Hello, everyone. This is Susan Damiani, Director of Gift Planning and Director of the McAllen Society, the St. John's Legacy Society. So happy to be here today with Stephanie Target. She is the mother of David Target, who is a student, who's actually my graduate assistant. He's a student at the Tobin College of Business, and he was also a member of the St. John's soccer team. And we're so happy to have a parent on the hello section of the e-news with us today. Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Hi, Susan. I'm doing well. Thank you.
That's great. I know before we were talking a little bit, and I was just saying that I've been blessed to have David on my team. You've done a great job raising him. He's super all around, super guy, also great worker, smart. I know he wants to try and work with Nike, and so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that his dreams come true, even though we will lose him at the end of the semester. And I would like to kidnap him and not have him go away and stay here and work with us, because he's just been such an asset to the team. But of course, I know the birds have to fly the nest, and we have to let them go on to bigger and better things, which I know David will be doing. But David is so proud of his mom that this month of January, as you know, is the month of wellness, and a lot of all our power hours are, that's the theme, is wellness, because we want to help everyone during this pandemic feeling better, and healthy living is so important, even beyond the pandemic. So when we were talking, I mentioned something about karate to David, and he said, "Oh, my mom does karate." And I was like, "Really? Okay, let's get her on and let's talk karate." I have to say, Stephanie was telling me 3 years doing karate. Is that correct? Yeah. And you're a 6th degree black belt.
Yes.
So I'm going to be very, very nice on this call. I would be nice anyway. Everyone knows I'm nice, but I'm going to be especially nice to Stephanie because she's a black belt. Watch out. I love it. I love it. So tell me, Stephanie, I think karate, another form of a great way to exercise and stay in shape. But why did you choose karate, not yoga or, something that most women, I would say, usually do?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I've always wanted to do karate, even as a little child. I was never into the group sports, the team sports like David is. I'm more of an individual. And my dad wouldn't let me take karate as a young girl. He says, "No, you're going to hurt your back." So when I was turning 30 years old, and I said to my husband, I really want to take karate. Can you give me that as a birthday present? He says, "You have to get that yourself." Well, in an English accent, it was much nicer. So I went and I read up on how to search up karate, and it said to always visit a dojo, watch how they treat people. I had heard that this was the best dojo on Long Island, and the best sensei. So I knew I was stepping into something exciting and new. It was local to me, and I went in and I watched a class, and I saw a bunch of girls in there and guys, different levels, white belt to black belt, all training, doing kata. And I thought to myself, I could do that. And I liked the fact that black belts were always seeking perfection and being critiqued. There is no perfection at black belt. It's basically a continuation of your growth and your learning, just like in life. You don't know everything. You never do. So that kind of drew me in, and I started doing it and haven't stopped.
That's terrific. And it's funny, I'm relating to what you're saying, because I have to say I've watched the Karate Kid, the movie, and now on Netflix we have the Cobra Kai. So they talk about the sensei and all of that. So I'm relating to what you're talking about. I also had an uncle who was drafted in the Vietnam War, and he didn't have to go to Vietnam. He went to Korea, and he learned Taekwondo. And I remember when he came back, that really changed his life. And like you said, it really gives you a sense of purpose, but discipline, right? And your mindset, you have to control your mind. So I think it touches all the senses. It's not just a form of exercise.
Right. And what you said about watching these shows, a lot of them, there's a little bit of violence to them.
Mm, yes.
Well, and what I liked about this particular type of karate, I take Shotokan, which is a traditional Japanese karate, and it was created in the early 1900s in Okinawa, and it's a lot of tradition. It's a lot of that. We have a dojo kun, which is it's the 5 guiding principles to training in karate. And in this particular dojo, it's seeking perfection of character, and it's developing your potential. It's being faithful and being sincere to yourself and to others. It's an endeavor to excel and to do the very best you can, never do anything halfway. It's refrain from violent behavior. It's self-control, like you said. And so I apply that not only in my karate, but in my business career too, by staying
That's great.
calm and being able to speak with people in a positive way, and listening to their strengths and their weaknesses, and learning about them as well. So it's really a mental thing. And they say that, oh, and I think I forgot respect to others, the way you'd want to be respected. I think that it's important for karate to give you balance in your life, with your children, with your family, with your physical health. And I think the main reason I was taking karate in early days was to get into shape. And there is no age limit to starting karate or to going through your life in karate. I started at 30. Their kids start at 6. And they go, my sensei is in his mid 70s now, and he trains on a regular basis. I brought some of my girlfriends in, and what happens is it lengthens you and strengthens you like a yoga does. I used to do yoga, but then I was pregnant with my son, David. And this was obviously 20 something years ago. And I remember lying on my back in corpse pose and trying to do some of the poses. And it was too uncomfortable for me. And I was also training in karate too now. So I was a purple belt. And I'm like, I have to pick one of these things. I don't think I can do yoga anymore. It's too hard on my body. Too hard on my body. And so I continued on with the karate, and I was, it was my sensei's first experience having this pregnant woman in his class. It's
That's
a very
amazing.
macho sport. There's no air conditioning.
Right,
I was like trying to control my temperature and all this, my heart rate. So I carried on through my 9 months of pregnancy, 8 months, 8 months with David, and only 6 with Ben, because it was too hot for me to train. But I think that it lengthened me. It made me easier for delivery. It made me healthy. Like I said, I applied in my business life, even in my career. I've applied it. My personal design. Shotokan.
That's great.
Yeah, Shotokan means pine needles in the sand, or Shoto means pine needles in the sand. The originator was a poet, and he named this style of karate that. And karate means empty hands. I'm an artist, so
Yes, tell us a little bit about that. You're a Julie artist?
yeah, I've been designing for 32 years now, professionally.
That's great. David did show us some of your work. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Really
Thanks.
nice. Yeah.
And like I said, the karate really influenced me for my business, my new business.
Well, creativity too, right? Clearing your minds, and it helps with all of that as well. So that's terrific.
Yeah,
That's really great. Do you teach karate at all?
I don't teach it, but I do. I will start a class. I'll do the warm-ups, the bowing in. We all bow out of respect for each other. Like when you're a black belt on the floor, the lower ranks come to you and bow. You bow into the sensei, to the highest rank. And it's really, it's quite a special sport. We have a lot of 50-year-olds and 60-year-olds and 70-year-olds all training. And I know that there was one 80-something-year-old training on a regular basis. And you just slow it down a notch, but it really, It's funny, for self-defense too. I think women and men, you don't necessarily have it with you all the time, but from training so long, it kind of comes naturally. And I'm always kind of afraid that maybe, I'm such a calm person. Like nothing will happen. I'm like
You're ready. You're certainly ready if anything does happen.
hoping
That's for
body
sure.
memory kicks in.
Right, exactly. Well, we have Women's History Month coming up in March, so we'll have to talk a little. Maybe you can give us a sampling. Maybe you can recruit some more women to join karate, because it sounds wonderful the way you describe it. You have, like I said, you have the movies and it shows one aspect of it. Although they do try to show the type of karate that you've learned. Unfortunately, though, I would say the Cobra Kai, as the seasons go on, I think it is getting a little too violent. Even the Karate Kid is getting more violent. He's not as calm as he used to be. So, but I feel like we need to go back to the true form. So it would be nice if maybe you could give us a demonstration. That would be great.
Absolutely. And we also do weapons too in our Shotokan, even though we say it's empty hand. I train with the bow. The bow is a long staff, and I train with the sais, and those are the knives, with the little hooks. So
oh yes, right.
And also then the nunchucks. So I don't practice quite as often because my ceiling is low in my house and it's too cold outside. But I always trained in a dojo for all of these years, and with the pandemic, we've continued on through Zoom. So I still do it twice a week, and there's a good dojo spirit there.
Do you have these weapons in the home?
Yes.
David, you better listen to your mother. David, listen to your mother. She's dangerous.
Well, it's mostly self-inflicted. I hurt myself a lot of times by clunking myself in the head or banging my elbow,
Right. Well, let me ask you before we close, since this is our month of wellness, what would you say about karate and just overall healthy living, and how important wellness is to our lives, and maintaining balance? Of course, it's so important, especially now.
Well, I think that karate is, like I said, a part of your life. It becomes not a religion, but a religion, because that's, it's a regular thing. It's a good book you can't put down. It's stretches the mind. It's good for dementia, preventing dementia in people, because you're always learning new forms and new movements and perfecting your movements. It's important for just creativity and inspiration and good spirit. And I recommend it for everybody.
Oh, terrific. Great closing, Stephanie. Really appreciate your time. We appreciate you brought a wonderful person into the world, David. We would love having him as part of our team, and we're so glad he's part of the St. John's family, as well as you and your husband and your other son. We're all in the family. So this has been really a great call. It's been great meeting you. Stephanie and I never met before, so it's nice. I always like to meet the parents anyway. So hopefully we'll meet again, and you definitely should be part of our Power Hour, and we'll need to talk about the Power Hour for the Women's History Month. That would be great. So thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Everybody.